Good morning, everyone. How are you? It's Michael. Today, I want to show you some cards I made using this new Carnations Background stamp from Technique Junkies. I'm over on the Technique Junkies blog today showing how I made these two cards, these two Sympathy cards, using the Carnations background. But first I wanted to show you some other cards that I made with the new release to show you how much I love background stamps, okay? It's so, I mean, sometimes you don't want to grab a piece of paper, you don't want to grab a decorative scrapbook paper. I love background stamps. Just slap it in your MISTI or your stamping tool, stamp it on some colored cardstock, die cut it, and you got your background. All you need is a sentiment. So here I used the Carnations background. I stamped it black on a light pink cardstock. This is the faith, hope, and love sentiment. And then I just added a couple of enamel dots from Altenew. This one I stamped Carnations on yellow cardstock, and I added the I believe in you sentiment. This is using a banner die. And then here, perfect for Mother's Day, again, I stamped it on pink with the Happy Mother's Day sentiment. And on all the cards, it's just a piece of white cardstock on the inside with a stitched border. I love the stitched border for a message. You could literally use any kind of sentiment with a background stamp, and Technique Junkies has a boatload of them. But for today's project, when the new release came out, you know, we get to pick what stamps we want to make samples using. And I love the background stamp, the Carnations, and I also got the Pray on It stamp. And I don't know why, but I was having a brain fart. I could not think of how to use the stamp. So I ended up using everything else that I got, and I pushed this off to the side. And then when I had to prepare today's blog post, I don't know, this just popped into my head. So these are basically made in the same way. They're really quick to put together. The only difference is I added some paper flowers over here on this one and a little heart, a little hat pin with a heart on it. And I thought I would just take you through this and show you how I put together a card. They're really quick, it's really simple. Let's start with the card base, okay? So I'm just gonna do these both at the same time since they're basically almost the same. So I'm using black cardstock. This would be 180 gram, which would be about a 65 pound cardstock if you're using that. And I made an A2 card, one's vertical, one's horizontal. I die cut 2 pieces of white cardstock using my 4" by 5 1/4" stitched rectangle die. This is a really old die that I've had for years. It's from Simon Says Stamp. Everything I'm using here, if I can find it, I will link it below. All the stamps from Technique Junkies will be linked below also. So I die cut the 2 white insides and I adhered it using double-sided tape. For the card fronts, here I stamped it on pink, and for this one I stamped it on yellow. I'm going to do the reverse. Let me scoot out here a little bit. I'm going to do the reverse for this. So I'm going to do the horizontal card using the yellow and the vertical card using the pink. So I used jet black archival ink and I stamped it on the colored cardstock. You could use Versamark ink and an embossing powder if you want. My heat gun is kind of on the fritz, so that's why I went direct to paper. For the back, I love to raise up my card fronts, okay? Double foam tape is a little expensive here and not that easy to find. But what we do have here in Brazil is fun foam. And Brazil loves to use fun foam for so much. I buy huge sheets of this stuff and I just cut it down. So I used fun foam in place of my foam tape. And I am working on a video to show you guys how to incorporate fun foam into your card making. That'll be coming up soon. So on the back of each of these, I applied some 2-inch double-sided tape. I love this size. I use this a lot. If you're here in Brazil, this is 48 millimeter, and this is 1/2-inch tape, which would be 12 millimeter. Okay, you don't need to use this wider tape on the back of your cards. I just wanted it to go faster. So put tape on the back of each card, and then I cut a piece of fun foam to adhere to the back. The pink one I've already done. So here on the yellow, just going to remove the tape. And you can certainly use 1/2-inch tape, you know, go around the border and do an X in the center if you want. And then I have my piece of fun foam here, which I'm just going to adhere to the back. And then I also have the tape on the back of the fun foam. So now I will remove the tape backing on this and adhere this to my card front. I personally just find the fun foam so much. I think I want it this way. The fun foam, which we call EVA here, because the scientific name is ethyl polymer something. When I do my video on how I use fun foam, I will give you guys the name. We also have sheets of glittered fun foam. Oh my God, it's amazing. It's a great way. And I think you guys have it in the States also. So I'm just going to adhere this here. Okay, so I have my 2 card fronts. Now for my sentiment, I stamped Pray on it on white cardstock. I trimmed it. I layered it on a piece of black cardstock. And then to get the matching stitched border, what I did was I placed, now you have to remember when I'm die cutting, it's a little bit larger. So I placed my die on it like this. I adhered it with some washi tape, and then I die cut it to get the stitched background. And then on this side, I die cut it the horizontal way. So this way, when the sentiments are adhered here, the stitching will match the stitching over here. So also on the back, I have put some double-sided tape, and I'm going to add 2 pieces of the black fun foam again. Then I am going to, you could also use white glue in place of the tape. I just tend to grab double-sided tape. I do have white glue sitting here. I don't know why. Remove the tape backing. Place your sentiment where you want it. Make sure that it is straight and it lines up with the stitching on each side. That's one done. And then over here, we're going to do the same thing. Remove the tape backing. When I cut the fun foam for my card backs, I try to keep the scraps if I can, because they do work perfectly on smaller pieces like this. I'm going to grab the wider tape. Remove the tape backing. And adhere this to the card front so it's straight. Okay, now on these 2 cards, I used a super fine tip Bic intensity marker. I love these markers. And I colored in the letters of prey, the yellow here, the pink here. On these two, I reversed the colors, so the pink cardstock is getting the yellow cardstock is getting the pink. There is a little heart here, so I have these enamel dots. These are the red Cosmos from Altenew, and it comes with a couple of little hearts here, so I'm just going to, on this one, I'm going to use a pink one. Come on. It fits perfectly over this heart. And over here, I'm going to use the darker pink. So this card is done. You have the inside for your message. And over here, what I'm going to do is I have some paper flowers, and I have some hat pins. These are, what are these? These are butterflies, I think. I don't know if that's going to work. How pretty is that? Can you see that? Nope, the butterflies are not going to work. So I'm going to use one of the heart pins. I think I'll go with a darker. So weird. These are from Brazil, and they almost match in the color. So I have some hot glue over here, and I'm just going to adhere this to the back of each of the flowers. I mean, you can use, I don't have any paper carnations, so I'm going with these in the same color scheme as the pinks here. Let's see, let's do a darker pink here. Okay. Let's work with a white. Be careful with your fingers. I probably should be using tweezers also. And I know we have to do an odd number, right? So I think I want another small white one over here. Wow, I'm so surprised the dogs are behaving. They're not barking. There's normally so much noise here. So we have the flowers here. And then I'm going to take this hat pin and I'm just going to slide it down in here. And it's done. So what do you guys think? What do you think of this idea? I really should start to use some white glue. So we have the two horizontal, we have the two vertical. Considering I really hate making sympathy cards, I think these came out really nicely. And it's so easy to just stamp the background stamp on colored cardstock and go. Anyway, I'm over on the blog today where it's written out how I made everything. I'll leave the link to that below. I hope you can hop over to Technique Junkies and check that out. All the stamps I used and anything else I can find that I used will be linked below. If you love these stamps or you love anything from Technique Junkies, you can save 10% by using my friends and family code, which is TJ for Technique Junkies, the number 10, and then my name, Michael. The M is capitalized. So it's TJ 10 capital M ICHAEL in lowercase. Anyway, the code will be below also. I would love to know what you guys think of these cards. Do you guys use background stamps to make cards? I'd love to know. Anyway, thank you so much for stopping by. I'd love it if you could subscribe, hit that bell to be notified when I upload the next video. And leave me a comment. I'd love to know what you think of all this. Have a great day, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.